Hi everyone, so today I'll be reviewing Bakuman Volume 2. Just a recap first of Bakuman Volume 1. So Volume 1, what happened is that Takeshi and Mashiro, two main characters, they formed a team. Mashiro made a promise with a girl that he has a crush on, that if they become successful and she becomes a successful voice actress, that they'll get married. At the end of Volume 1, Takeshi and Mashiro successfully created a one-shot, and at the end of it, they were going to go to Shueisha, or if I'm pronouncing that right, hopefully. It's the publisher that publishes a weekly Shonen Jump. So in Volume 2, they take their one-shot to Shueisha, like I said, and they meet an editor. His name is Hattori, and Mashiro knows from his uncle that their success, their popularity, and how well they do as mangakas, manga creators, all depends on themselves as well as their editor. So Mashiro is keeping an eye, see what Hattori says, and at the end of the meeting he decides that Hattori is a trustworthy person and that they can entrust their dreams to him, and they can rely on him, etc., etc. So this Volume 2 talks about how well they did in the first one-shot they created, and how they're improving themselves, trying to do different types of manga to create a successful one. At the end, well, not at the end, but during this volume, they create another one-shot. If you don't know what one-shots are basically like one-shots, really. For example, before this Bakuman came out, I'm not sure if they did a one-shot. Mangakas create a one-shot to see whether people like it, if it's popular enough to actually get it serialized. If it is popular, then they go to a meeting, or the chief editors, or captains of each editor teams meet up with the chief editor and I think the deputy chief editor, and they have a look at all the new mangakas and all the mangas they created and their one-shots, and decide on which manga to create. All this you will learn through this manga itself, of Bakuman. But yes, during this volume as well, Takeshi gets a girlfriend, you could say. What happened is that due to a few misunderstandings and two very weird girls, the names are Iwase and Miyoshi, they end up at Takeshi's apartment, and they're trying to this is what happens really. They're at his apartment, and Mashiro walks into his, well, it doesn't walk in, he goes to Takeshi's house to see him about something to do with them one-shot. So he goes there and he sees these two, and he asks Takeshi what's going on, and he says that they're trying to sort out who Takeshi has a crush on. Iwase was Miyoshi. And it's weird because the reason why they like him, or they think he likes them, is, for example, Iwase thinks that Takeshi likes him because he shook her hand or held her hand, and Miyoshi thinks that Takeshi likes him because he called her to ask her a few questions. Quite a few misunderstandings. Anyway, so they're trying to sort the situation out, and Mashiro and Takeshi are whispering, trying to make a solution to diffuse this whole situation, because tension is building. And in the end, Takeshi says, I want to become a manga creator, I won't have time for going out on dates, etc., etc. Miyoshi, she says she doesn't mind, she likes guys with big dreams, and Iwase thinks that you should forget it, forget becoming a mangaka because it's a waste of time, you'll regret it. And Takagi says, he says something like, what I regret more is not even trying to become a mangaka. So the choice was made. So Iwase was obviously broken up that Takagi couldn't change his mind and become a mangaka, but you don't exactly see that. You just see a little tear in their eye, and in the end he settled with Miyoshi. Well, I shouldn't say settled, but later on in the series they go out. So these are the main points of this volume. As I say, in each volume you learn more and more about the suffering and how much hard work goes into creating manga. Another thing I forgot to mention is, as you can see on the right, is volume 3. On the front cover is a genius, manga genius in this story, in this manga, called Eiji Nizuma, and he's a he's practically the same age, maybe a year older than Takagi and Mashiro, and he's just absolute extraordinary at creating mangas. It's like I said, he's a genius, and Takagi and Mashiro are trying to outdo him, try to go beyond him, become even more popular than him. That's their goal now, in this part of creating manga. Yes, so there's some rivalry going on, but you don't actually see the proper rivalry yet. All you know at the beginning, all you know in this volume is that Takagi and Mashiro just want to beat him, just want to go to his level, to reach his level. But in the next volume, I think volume 3, they actually meet Takagi and Mashiro. They meet Eiji Nizuma later on, and I'll explain that when we get to that volume. Another thing I forgot to mention in volume 1, but it's in volume 2 as well, is that at the end of a few chapters, when I flick through it, I'll show you. At the end of a few chapters, the creators, they added the storyboards that Tsugumi Obha created, and then gave them to Takeshi Obata sensei, and Takeshi Obata sensei then took the storyboard, redid them, try sketching, try and improve it further. And this story kind of, you could say, in a way, it's very similar to their case, because Takagi is creating the story and Mashiro is creating the art. So, in a way, you kind of see what they do behind the scenes. So let's flick through it. Actually, what does it say here? Here, this is a nice comment here. This is from Takeshi Obata sensei. That's the artist. It says here, the title of this manga is Bakuman. This means Bakuhatsu, explosion, Bakuchi, gamble, and Baku, an animal that supposedly eats dreams. It has many meanings to it, and I think it's a very fun title. So that's the meaning of the title of this manga. Very random, in a way. So yes, these are the characters. Obviously the ones with exclamation marks are the ones you will meet or haven't met yet. As the story progresses, this actually gets quite full. I'm not sure how they're going to add more and more people in there later on in further volumes, but we'll see when time goes on. So here we are. This is when they meet Hattori. This is Hattori, the editor. I think I've missed it. Eiji Nizuma. This is where the chief editor goes to Nezuma's house, Nezuma's house, and he's trying to convince him to come to Tokyo to become a mangaka, and he says, okay, I'll come and work for you, but if I become the most popular manga in Jump, this is called Jump, and it's not called Weekly Shonen Jump, they just call it Jump in this manga. But he says if he becomes the most popular manga artist in Jump, he wants the right to at least cancel one series that he wants. Obviously the editor-in-chief is shocked by this, but he accepts, because he doesn't think that he'll become as popular as he thinks he'll be. This is the part I was saying. This is a storyboard done by Obha Sensei. So this is the storyboard, and this is done by Obata Sensei. So you can see that Obha Sensei's art is not very good. Bring it a little bit closer. So this is the storyboard that Obata Sensei comes up with. Now Obata Sensei just improves it, add the artwork, just the basic design of it. Then that's further enhanced into into this, basically. That's how it is when it's done. Like I say, it's better to read this yourself and fully appreciate and understand how the story goes. So this is Iwase, as I was saying. Iwase, and this is Miyoshi. Oh, another thing is that this, I'm not sure if it's the second one shot that Takeshi and Mashiro create is entered into the Tezuka Award competition thing, and they actually come third place. They actually thought they would get first place, and quite actually myself, I thought they would get first place, but they got third place. So it kind of sucks. Bakuman, another thing I should mention, that they don't always win. They don't always get the top thing, the most popular results. They don't get the highest results in votes or surveys or rankings. So it's more or less kind of really taking reality into account, how people feel and how well a manga that they create in the story would do for real life. Anyway, that's review for Volume 2. Thanks for watching.